So the PS4 5 wasn't weak was a week that was going around, but more evidence proves it. Remember Sony's 64 GB cheap cooler fan overheating and slowing times in the menu. Yes, this is the PS5 essentially. So that means the last three, the first one, oh yeah, that's gigabytes of RAM. Again, that's but the like how much stuff you can fit on the console, how much games. But it says cheap cooler fan. That means the PS5 is a weak console. Okay, but of course, all the the Sony fanboys are going to buy it anyways, no matter how bad the console is. That's how all the Sony fanboys are. They'll buy it no matter how bad the console is. If it's a piece of crap disguised as the console, they'll still buy it. For example, they'll you know they'll and again, it actually goes for the same thing of all consoles as well. The Wii U is no exception to this as well. That Xbox with the Red Ring of Death, but Sony, they're like, oh my god, Sony PS5 is gonna have in the bag with grass time. Sony will have a monopoly over the gaming market, and Xbox and Nintendo will drop out, and everything will be only on PlayStation. Sony's hardware have always been very not that great. The PS3 wasn't that great, and of course the PS2 had issues of its own as well. And now the next one is overheating. Again, that's common in certain consoles. But again, this is a standard issue with the console. It's not, again, on computers or consoles, if you play the console for too long, it will eventually start to overheat and turn off. Or if you have, or you've, yeah, or on some console systems like a computer or a phone, if you have too many things running on the background of your phone or your computer, your computer or phone could overheat. It isn't really that prevalent in consoles, but this is the problem with it. And the worst part is slow loading times in the menu. So I'm actually a comparison between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox did much better than the PS5. They did much better in terms of overheating. They did much better in terms of quality consoles. There again, this is the PlayStation in a nutshell. They say how great the consoles are, but they really are not. You know, and it's just more proof of that. Sony's consoles are not that amazing as Sony makes them out to be. You got every Sony E3 presentation like, oh my god, Sony, they're making The Last of Us Part 9, The Last of Us Part 10, okay, or a sequel to a game that they Sony fanboys will buy up anyways. It's just funny that now we're seeing the opposite. The only problem that Xbox has never really had much hardware issues outside of the whole Red Ring of Death controversy that happened as well. Yes, the Xbox One didn't really have many. The only problem, the major problem of the Xbox One, it didn't have exclusives, and it actually beat out the Wii U, which relied on console exclusives. You know, was relied essentially on console exclusives, and it failed because there were no third-party games. And yeah, the Xbox One still didn't have those big exclusive games, as well as why it was not a massive success, but still did better than Nintendo's Wii U as a whole. The Wii U was a massive flop. It was a massive failure. Okay, no one bought. I actually own a Wii U, but nobody bought the Wii U in the grand scheme of things. I own a Wii U, but nobody really bought the console in this grand scheme of things. It only sold 13 million copies. The same thing could apply to the PS Vita. No one bought the PS Vita because the PS Vita had no games. No one wanted to play Anime Waifu Simulator 400 on the console. Nobody wants that. And people are like, oh, but those games are great. But yeah, the PS Vita relied too much on anime games that no one bought and no one played. So yeah, the PS5 is gonna be a massive failure. And yeah, especially in Japan, where anime games are the only things that matter, in that country, as well. Well, those games actually sell. But yeah, the PS5, massive, massive failure. gonna be a massive failure. The fact that even anime games are starting to abandon Sony's PlayStation 4, because a lot of those PS Vita games are all supported to PS4 as well. There are a lot of those anime games, sometimes even to the Xbox One, sometimes to the iPhone, even sometimes very rarely the 3DS, and the Switch, which replaced the Vita for most developers nowadays. But yeah, this is just, PS5 big failure. It's gonna, and even then, the Switch is beating PS5 in terms of anime games as well. They're beating them in sales. So Nintendo already is winning in the console market in Japan. They already are destroying Sony in Japan and with the Switch. They're already still destroying Sony in Japan. So yep, there you go. So not Nintendo, Sony's days I think are numbered essentially, and that's basically it. Goodbye.